Going on, everyone? All things bacon here, and welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a minute. Last thing I did was like a live stream or something, but it was a while ago. I got my dad here. Say hey.
Hey.
I'm surprised he actually said yes to being on camera because he usually hates it. But this is Tom Macdonald. For those of you who don't know, I've been reacting to his stuff for a few months now. And he's got some really, really good songs. My dad, he just found out about him. He's known about him for a while, but he just actually listened to a song, Fake Woe, which is his like most popular one. Like what, Thursday?
Yeah.
Today's Saturday. It was on Thursday, so about 2 days ago. And he loved it. Loves everything about it. Right?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So he loves the guy. My dad doesn't even like this kind of music, but he loves this guy and the songs he has to say. Right? So this is Clown World. We've got other ones we're gonna do. People So Stupid, No Lives Matter, and Canceled, right? And then this one. There's a few other ones that Tom Macdonald has that aren't super political, but my dad, that's all he cares about.
No.
I'm just messing with him. But I'm gonna let him do most of the talking because I've already reacted to this song on my channel actually. So I'll link that in the description or something if y'all want to check that out first. Actually, before you watch my video, watch the actual video first, and then watch my reaction to it. Give him the credit. Don't give me give him the credit. And then you can watch my video and then come back and watch this. So, I'm gonna let my dad do all the most of the talking, and he's gonna be the one pausing the video and talking about stuff because he hasn't heard this yet. So, whenever you're ready, Dad, just go ahead.
All right, let's get started.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness. I'm offended that you're offended by me taking offense. Can't build a wall. Why does your house have a fence? I believe in two genders. I'm not mad at the rest. I'm just confused when a dude has a beard and some breasts. We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No, I don't think that the system's racist. I just think the system hates people. I think fighting violence with more violence is what they want. Viruses and riots, people dying, we won't stay home. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus.
It's all true so far.
Full of clowns, they're all stupid and they're proud. Painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie. I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. When I was a child, the only races that we hated were the ones that we ran and didn't win. Then we stopped playing with each other, started hating on each other, started noticing the color of our skin. Christians and atheists, immigrants, patriots. We love the country, but we are not saving it. Wages don't raise to the rate of inflation, and half of the country hates all of the nation. It's funny that we think the world owes us something. All the phones got smart, but the people so dumb. We care more about the likes on a selfie than our moms, and the only time we ever speak the truth when we're drunk. We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No, your thoughts and opinions ain't facts, and they are not defining my reality. No, I think picking sides divides. It's probably what has got us here. United States is great regardless. That's what we forgot in here. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is shutting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud. Painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie. I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. They tell you be yourself and then they judge you on the internet till everybody hates you for it. If Jesus was alive, I swear to God that y'all would cancel him, cause lately being negative's the real new normal. Yeah, if you're thick, you're fat, you're rich, you're bad, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're whack. They lie, it's facts. My generation needs a bunch of free condoms, cause common sense ain't that common. This is what they wanted, this is how they planned it. This is to control everyone on the planet. Then we put each other in caskets, protest and panic, and they take advantage to manage the damage. We won't always agree. No, freedom doesn't come free. No, there was people fighting, dying overseas so that you could have freedom and be home. I think the elites are real, but they ain't drinking babies' blood. They're creating chaos so they have something to save you from. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes.
What you think?
I mean, it was good. It was solid. We need to turn the volume up just a little bit.
Yeah, no. Honestly, you talk. I can figure it
That one didn't speak to me as much. He makes a couple of really big points. That we're so busy dividing ourselves nowadays that the government doesn't have to do anything. They just need to make sure that fire stays inflamed. And that's and when I watched Fake Woke, he talked about a lot of that kind of stuff. And that's what it is. It's not the people against each other. It's really them against us. And I think that's hopefully more and more people are waking up to that, because we're all like puppets, pawns in that scheme. Everybody wants power. See, division creates a gap of power and money, and then that's what's happened. So they need that division to be there. You know what I mean? So they don't have any interest in solving it or uniting anybody, because then there's no money to be made. There's no power to be had anymore. So, and right now, let's say right now you got Democrats pretty much control presidency and all of Congress. And so the Republicans are trying to get it back. So they're going to do what they need to do to try and get that power back. And then when it goes the other way, and it will, I mean, I've been around a while now, and it always goes back and forth, and the Republicans get it back, the Democrats will do the same thing. And it's just this constant power struggle, and I mean, half of our Congress is millionaires. And I don't understand how you can be a millionaire being an elected official. And it's just kind of out of control. And it's when I first heard about this guy, I heard about it a couple months ago, but and I don't remember why I clicked on that video for Fake Woke. But when I heard it, it was like, it's like this dude has been like spying on me for like the last year and recording what I was saying, because almost everything I said is in that video, is in that song. And so it just,
there's some things like that
one
in this
hit
one
hard.
too, I feel like. Too.
Yeah, there's a few division, the BLM stuff, which I understand. Like I get what the message was, but that message, let me tell you something, that message is lost. That message is lost big time. Because, like you've heard me say it 100 times, I support Black Lives Matter. I do not support the organization. The organization is just another corrupt political tool. I understand the reason for the cries for Black Lives Matter. I've been around the block a while, and I get where the pleas are coming from, and that stuff needs to be dealt with and changed, and as best as we can. You're always going to have, as long as there's different races, there's always going to be racism. I mean, that has been around since the beginning of man. So you got to, but there should never be a system of government or anything like that that oppresses anybody. And I think that's what they've been fighting for so long. So I get the message, and I understand that. I empathize with that. And I will do, and I stand up for justice no matter who I see it in front of, whether it's a racial thing, or whether it's a gender thing, or whether it's a sexual thing, whatever the case may be. If I see injustice, I stand up to it. And that's what we need in the world. That's the way I see it. And this guy's speaking out about that, because if I say that, like just because I'm for this cause doesn't mean I'm against this cause. And that's what everybody does. Like, I'm very pro law enforcement. All right. That doesn't mean I just blatantly or blindly support law enforcement. If I see somebody that does something wrong, then I'll deal with it accordingly. So, but I also don't. But just because I support law enforcement doesn't mean I'm anti-Black lives. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're trying to do. I support Black Lives Matter in a real, justifiable situation where something was racist or violated someone's civil rights, that kind of thing, and I can say that without saying, I hate police. That's where we've got this. It's like you either got to choose one side or the other. That's just stupid. That doesn't even make sense to me. Like that's ignorance, and I just don't. I do not subscribe to that school of thought. There's a lot of worthy causes out there. So just because I support one doesn't mean I'm anti that. So I think that is where a lot of the stuff hits home with me. So this song, it was good. It was solid. The beat's okay. It wasn't as powerful to me. Like it didn't like, Fake Woke, first 10 seconds, it's bam. He's on Cardi B, then he's on Eminem, who I know he loves Eminem. So it wasn't trying to diss him. I don't think he was trying to show you the hypocrisy that has happened. That, you can promote this kind of, what he was rapping about early in his career, which goes back to when I was younger. And then all of a sudden, though, now you can't have people because they support Donald Trump or something. I mean, that's what he's trying to say. And I just think that kind of division is it's nothing but rhetoric. And it makes people feel good. See, people who are, it's hard to have a rational debate with people who are standing on some kind of moral high ground and they're in their feelings about something. And so they feel superior based on what their fight is for. So they don't listen to facts or things that would change their perspective. It may not change their school of thought, but it could give you a different perspective. Like I do not. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm not black. That does not mean that I can't gain perspective on what it's like to be a black man in this country or dealing with law enforcement or anything like that. I can empathize with that. I can hear the stories and then I can empathize with the situation and I can gain perspective. All right. I may not really feel it, and I get that. I mean, I understand that. I'm not trying to say that I could never do that, but I can certainly gain some more understanding, and that's what we have. That's where our society has gone off the rails. Nobody gains understanding of anybody. That's all I got to say really about that.
So, about the song.
Yeah. Sorry, I kind of got off.
No, I know, it's fine. It's fine. That's what this whole thing's about. You can't react to a song such as this and an artist such as this and expect to not be like that. But to me, this song is one of my favorites just because I think it's one of the best sounding songs he has. And obviously, there's sometimes where you have to listen to a song a few more times to actually catch.
I'll probably listen to it 20 times in the next couple of days. I had to put it on hold. When I heard Fake Woke, I was ready to listen to everything he made. But then my son said, "No, you can't watch anymore. I want you to do reactions." I was like, "All right."
I wasn't thinking about it until I was just in the middle of work, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I have the best idea."
So,
but now, I think one that you're gonna like the most probably is "No Lives Matter" because that one is the most similar to Fake Woke. That's not Fake Woke. Makes sense. It's the most similar in terms of it's slower and it's got more. This one was a little faster. And it's got more like...
And the volume wasn't the best. I mean, I heard what he was saying, but during some of his quicker bars, I couldn't quite make it out.
Yeah, I think we just had to...
So, we'll have that fixed.
Let's... Hold on. Is that a little better?
That's a little better, yeah.
See, that's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet?
That is a good line.
Oh, wait. I want to talk about this one too, because there's a few things I want to talk about too. So,
yes, we can break it down a little bit.
He says, there's an entire generation get offended at everything. Mm-hmm. They're getting mad that a human says all lives matter. They're getting mad. I think I told you about this. We talked about it the other day, but people are getting mad that people are saying all lives matter, but everyone's included in that saying.
Right.
Why would you get mad at that?
Well, what they're trying,
they're trying to say that Black lives specifically matter, right? That's why Black Lives Matter pisses people off. But if you say all lives matter, that means everyone. So if they're just saying like just Black Lives Matter specifically, it's like they're trying to make it seem like Black people are special like that. That's why it pisses people off. Right,
but I'll give you a little perspective on that. And this is just something that I researched and had to learn on my own too, is when they say Black Lives Matter, they're coming from a place where their lives haven't mattered. See, in our lives, what they're saying is white people, is that our life, we've never had to say that. You know what I mean? We've never felt we've had to say that. even though there's been injustice against everybody, but we've never had to say that, at least not in this country, and certainly not while we've been alive. And the Black Lives Matter movement comes from a place of they feel like their lives haven't mattered. You see what I'm saying? So by them saying Black Lives Matter, they're not saying your life doesn't. They're saying that, hey, we matter too, and it's very specific. And so I get where it's coming. I get where it's coming from. And then the All Lives Matter kind of came as a rebuttal to that. And they're like, look, we're not saying, and this is when you're talking to somebody with rationality, though, that understands the cause. And they're saying, look, we're not saying your life doesn't matter. We're just saying we're tired of not mattering. And so that's where that's coming from.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not that's true or whether or not that's their perception or against your perception, that's a whole nother debate. Well, not even really debate, because you can say pretty much that that's probably the truth for a long time now. I think we're getting to a place that's not as true, but that's where that comes from. So I get the Black Lives Matter and the slogan. Like, I understand it. And again, if you take the time to learn about something from somebody who can rationally explain it, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody's all emotional and they're just being loud and boisterous and just trying to start something, then they're just screaming Black Lives Matter, then you're not going to learn anything from that. You have to listen to somebody who can really explain what the cause is about and can put it in terms you can understand. Because we don't understand it. Me and you, we have to gain understanding, because we've never experienced that part of life. Like, we're not a minority, we're not Black, so we don't experience that. So we have to be able to learn from somebody that has experienced it. And again, here, I use the word a lot, empathize. It's an empathy you gain for other people's either misfortunes or injustices. It doesn't mean you agree or disagree with it. All right. Just because somebody tells me that something happened to them, that doesn't even mean that that's true. Like, it may not even be true, but I can still gain empathy from it. Like, well, even if it was true, how would I feel about that? And what would I do in that situation? How would I feel about law enforcement? How would I feel about this country? Or how would I feel about politics? It might all be different. So that's the biggest thing. And nobody does that on either side. A lot of times I do it. Like, nobody does that with law enforcement. Trust me. I've seen enough dead bodies, and I've seen enough crime to last 100 lifetimes. And nobody, the people out there that just hate law enforcement or hate whatever, they don't understand that. They don't bother to empathize with that. I'm a human. I have emotions. I'm not a robot. And that's what they think it is. It's like we're faceless. So nobody bothers to understand that either. And that's where a lot of that misunderstanding comes from too. People think they know what police do. They have no clue. If you haven't done it, you don't know what they do. So it's a two-sided coin. It's, both sides need to start working their way towards the middle and understanding each other and gaining some more perspective. You can make a lot better decisions, and you can fight the right fights, because there's some fights that need to be fought still to this day. Nobody will disagree that we don't continue to need police reform, and nobody will continue to say that we need a better environment, especially in minority areas. But this really goes across the board. Is you need better schooling, you need more funding, you need more avenues for success. There's some people that grow up and all they know is guns, dope, drugs, women. That's all they know. That's what they think life is. And they don't have anyone to show them that life doesn't have to be that. That's what is around them. So that's what they think it is. That's what they have to do. But there's so many better things out there. So, but they just need somebody to show them how to do it. And say this is how you be successful in life, and not have to worry about the law, and not have to worry about getting gunned down in the street, or whatever the case may be. So anyway,
but the thing is, it's hot.
Yeah, it is now. I've been talking too much.
Tom Macdonald just speaks from a point of common sense most of the time, right?
Most of what he speaks about is coming together a little bit. It's getting out of your, he said, you're putting everybody in this box. You're putting everybody in this box. Literally, you're putting everybody in that box.
Literally, the next line he says, "We don't need black or white or left or right.
Right.
All we need is common sense. We need balance.
Yeah,
He says,
we divide ourselves.
he said, we're all in the same boat. Why are you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.
Right. I am for the empowerment of black people because that also empowers me as a person too, as an American. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't gain anything. I only lose. If the black community loses, I lose too. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know. I don't want to misspeak on it. But it's like, the more successful everybody is, the more successful we all are. You know what I mean? Like, it's crime goes down, more people survive, more people are more successful, more people, our society gets better. Everybody benefits, and so we all gain if we get everybody on the right track and everybody going in the right direction, and we cut. It's just everybody benefits. We can keep playing right now.
Oh wait, hold on.
I'm offended that you're offended by me taking offense. Can't build a wall. Why does your house
They censored Trump's name. He says in the song, Trump can't build a wall. Why does your house have a fence? But it censors the word Trump.
Oh, YouTube censored it, or
I don't know.
Or does he do it on purpose?
I think he did it. I think he did it to make fun of people.
Yeah, I think this is.
Listen.
I'm offended that you're offended by me taking offense. Can't build a wall. Why does your house have a fence? I believe in two
It just kind of cuts out right there.
Yeah, he says it's because in the Spotify version it says his name, but in this version, the YouTube version, it doesn't.
He might have.
Either YouTube did it or he might have done it on purpose to make fun of people.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing, man. People have got this whole
Sensitive.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to argue direct politics, okay? Because you can do that all day, every day, and usually there's no. If you're a hardcore Democrat or if you're a hardcore Republican, there is nothing that is going to change your mind about that. You have to see for yourself. You have to open your eyes and look at your own beliefs and your own party to change anything like that. Nobody's going to sit there and debate you and change your mind on what you see. You got to see it for yourself. But he did. I just never seen a president treated like Trump was treated the entire time. I just never seen anything like it, and it's crazy. I mean, when you talk about the perverts we've had in the White House, the scandals that have been in the White House, sure enough scandals, not scandals that are investigated for 3 years and then shown to be a bunch of bullshit. I'm talking about real scandals, and so that's just crazy. But
you know what he said? This makes so much sense, but at the same time it doesn't. He says, I'm offended that you're offended by me taking offense. What does that even mean?
Everybody's
You're offended by me taking offense. Can't build a wall. Why does your house have a fence? I believe in two genders. I'm not mad at the rest. I'm just confused when a dude has a beard and some breasts.
That part's just funny to me.
I mean, where does it end?
No, I don't think that the system's racist. I just think the system hates me.
The system hates people.
I think fighting violence with more violence is what they want. Viruses and riots, people dying, we won't stay home. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for?
Seriously, what is all the division for? It's just stupid.
It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid.
The world is full of clowns. So.
You want that shirt? We gotta show them the shirt. This is the one that the shirt comes from.
And when I say the world is full of clowns, it's full of clowns on a lot of different spectrums.
I was a child, the only races that we hated were the ones that we ran and didn't win. Then we stopped playing with each other, started hating on each other.
I don't even know when I noticed race. I don't know when I even noticed it.
So,
You don't know it forever.
Yeah, when I was a child, because to a child it doesn't mean color of your skin don't mean nothing to a child, because they haven't.
I just want to play.
Yeah, yeah.
My friend,
That's
play with them.
When I was a child, the only races that we hated were the ones we ran didn't win.
Yeah.
And didn't win. Then we stopped playing with each other, started hating on each other, started noticing the color of our skin. Christians and atheists, immigrants, patriots. We love the country, but we are not saving it. Wages don't raise to the rate of it.
I was going to say this. Some of the immigrants in this country are the biggest patriots we have. And
This guy,
yeah, well,
he's not American. He's
I'm
Canadian.
Right. That's true, technically. But, because most of us are immigrants in some form or fashion. At some point, we came to this country at a different time. And, but I'm talking about modern day. There's a lot of people that came here from Cuba, a lot of people that come in down here from South America, from Mexico, and they do things the right way, or they come here and they get their asylum, or whatever the case may be, and become legal citizens. And they're some of the biggest fighters for this country, because what brings them here, right, is because this is the nation of hope, and no matter what you feel about this country and whatever problems we have, people around this world look to this nation for a chance. That's what they see when they see that red, white, and blue, that stars and stripes. That's what that means to them. Yeah, and you know what? They come here and they still fly the flag of their native country, and that's great. You should never give up who you are. Like, you should never give up where you came from or who you are. All right. So people that get upset about that, like, well, you came to America, why do you fly the Mexican flag? Dude, that's where they're from. That's their culture. They should be proud of who they are. They should be proud of where they came from. There's nothing wrong with that. So people that get upset by that, I don't understand that line of thought either. I mean, I've got German and Irish in me. All right. If I wanted to, I guess I could maybe fly those flags, but I didn't actually come from those countries. So I don't necessarily feel that personal ownership to that country. But if you're living in Mexico and you come to America to make a better life for yourself, you should be proud of your Mexican heritage, and you can fly that flag, and you can do that. And I have no issue with that. I don't understand why people have an issue with that. But I kind of got off on a tangent again. But those people, when they come here and they make a life for themselves, whether it's super successful, being a rapper or being a musician or being this, or just getting a regular job and making decent money, living the middle class life, not having to worry about paying bills and where is their kids going to go to school and all that stuff. I mean, that's a successful life. This measure of success that we've established in this country, people judging each other like how successful they are is how much money they make. That's not success. Okay, that's a measure of success, but it's not the only measure. Like, I consider myself very successful, but I'm straight up middle class. All right, I came from poor class, worked my way up. I do a job, I do it well. I have kids that I've taken care of. I don't have to worry anymore about how I'm going to pay the bills, that kind of stuff. And I spend time with them and teaching them things, and we do things as a family. And that is, to me, a much higher measure of success. I'm very happy with it. So, and that's all that other people want that are coming from other countries. They want that opportunity. They're tired of living in a truly oppressive government, or they're tired of living around drug cartels, or the corruption that's all around. They just want this opportunity that Stars and Stripes represents to everybody. And anybody can come here and do it. Anybody can. So, long speech to say that some of our immigrants are some of our biggest patriots. And
wow,
especially
30 minutes.
Especially
I'm going to have to edit some of this out.
Especially people that are coming from Cuba, where it's been really bad for a lot of years. And they'll tell you, if you speak to someone that actually came from Cuba, they'll tell you what a real corrupt government does. So anyway, there we go. Nice.
The way you do that, there you go.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, you like this line?
That's, I mean, we ain't got a smart. I'm gonna tell you this: a phone is only as smart as a user. I'm gonna tell you that too. But anyway, we can just keep going. That's a funny line. It's true.
So
only speak the truth.
we worry more about the likes on our selfie than our moms. And the only time we ever speak the truth when we're drunk.
I said something to you about that earlier, about people. We were talking about social media just before we started this video. We were talking about not being obsessed with likes and comments and stuff like that, because he's a YouTuber, so obviously that's kind of important to him. But I was talking to him about that doesn't mean, in the grand scheme of life, that doesn't mean anything. So, just because you got 40 likes and this person got 1 million likes, who cares? All right,
you're still getting likes. Likes.
I mean, and this don't matter. And the trolls that try to make comments, and everybody's got them. I don't care if you're talking about if you're a full-blown socialist or full-blown capitalist, or if you're a Republican or a Democrat, capitalist, then there's still going to be trolls. Every single genre, every single line of thought has a troll from the other side that thinks differently, that's just coming on there to piss you off. That's all they're doing. And they get a rise out of it, so just ignore those people. They're stupid, and they're not even worth wasting your time. Roll it.
Roll it.
We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No, your thoughts and opinions ain't facts. not defining my reality. No, I think picking sides divides, it's probably what has got us here. United States is great regardless, that's what we forgot in here. Black lives matter, all lives matter, what's all this division for? It's modern segregation.
I'm just gonna skip through the chorus. It's a good chorus, but just because it says the same thing every time. You know what I'm saying? Because this video's already super long, so.
They tell you be yourself and then they judge you on the internet till everybody hates you for it. If Jesus was alive, I swear to God, they all would cancel him. Because lately being negative's the real new norm.
That's true. If Jesus is alive, I think he'd be canceled. Because he was against, well, the thing is, he's against the elites. All right? He was against the Pharisees. He was against the elites. He was for the working class. He was for the poor. And I don't care how much a politician stands there and says they're for the working class. They are not for the working class. Okay? They are only looking at how they can get richer. And I'm sorry, I'm convinced of that. And it would be very tough to change my opinion on that. I think when they get into politics, maybe that's their intention, but somewhere along the way, money and greed corrupt, and that's what happens. And if you think capitalism is greedy, just wait until you start experiencing socialism. All right, wait until you can't change that. Then the government just takes whatever they want from you. You talk about greed, oh my God. So just keep that in perspective. Jesus came, no matter how you feel about Christianity or religion in general, whether you believe in it or don't believe in it or other, the life of Jesus is real, and it happened. But he was fighting for the working class and the poor, and it didn't matter if you were a sinner or a saint. You know, almost everybody he dealt with was sinners, and well, obviously all of them were, but some of them were the worst of the worst. You know, whether it was prostitutes or whether it was, some of his disciples were tax collectors and just poor working class people, and that's who he fights for. That's who he stands up for. So that's who I believe in. That's who I want to fight for. And that's what he's talking about. And I think Jesus will be canceled because the elites hold the power. Big tech holds the power. Media holds the power. And when somebody tries to fight the system, which is what Jesus did, he fought the system. They cancel.
That's what he's
trying to do. They find a way to cancel. And that's why this guy needs to stay independent.
Yeah. If he signs a label,
roll it.
He won't, but.
If Jesus was alive, I swear to God, they all would cancel him. Because lately being negative's the real new normal. Yeah, if you're thick, you're fat, you're rich, you're bad, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're whack. They lie, it's facts. My generation needs a bunch of free condoms. Because common sense ain't that common. This is what they want. This is how they planned it. This is the control.
That's people's answer. Don't fix the fact that we're having sex at 12 years old and 15 years old or whatever the case may be. Let's just make sure everybody has free condoms so they have protected sex. That's the.
But it doesn't even protect all the time.
Well, that's not. We don't need to get into that. That's the mentality, though. Is we're not going to fix the problem.
I think he was making fun of him, though.
He was. I know it was. That's exactly what he's talking about. Is free condom. That doesn't make any sense, and he's right because you're not addressing a problem. Yeah, that's not addressing the actual problem. The problem is you got 12-year-olds having sex. That's your problem. Not that you're not using condoms. You know, the problem is young kids having sex. That's the problem. So that's what you got to fix. And that's you know, law enforcement, you want to fix a result without affecting the problem. You see what I'm saying? Everybody looks at the end result and doesn't bother to worry about any of the problems that led to that result. And until you do that, you're going to keep getting the same result. Anyway, go ahead.
My generation needs a bunch of free condoms, cause common sense ain't that common. This is what they wanted, this is how they planned it. This is to control everyone on the planet. Then we put each other in caskets, protest and panic, and they take advantage to manage the damage. We won't always agree, no, freedom doesn't come free. No, there was people fighting, dying overseas, so that you can have freedom and be home. I think the elites are real.
You see that girl. It was a while ago, I saw it on Instagram. It was the girl. They released this. That there was a dude that was in the military, and he was asking for like a military discount or something if they offered it at like the stores. Mm-hmm. This lady behind him was like, "Oh, just because you were in the military, you deserve special rewards." I was like,
"Yeah,
yes." This lady.
I'll say
the audacity.
I'll say this: if you're in the military or law enforcement or firemen, and a place gives you discounts, things like that. This is my opinion, and you take it for what's worth. Don't ask for them. All right. Like I've never asked for a discount. If somebody gave me a discount, it was of their own doing, and almost always I put whatever discount they got into their tip jar. You know, I pay full price everywhere I go, and if And even if I go to a place that gives you free food or whatever, I'm
Actually,
leaving that money on the
Was
table.
he asking, or were they telling him that?
I think
just like
I think that they told him that they didn't do one, and or I can't remember how it went down exactly.
But
I'd
you
have
know
to
what video I'm
refresh my
talking
memory.
about, though,
I
right?
do know the video. It did blow up a little
It
bit.
was. But still, like, I know what you're trying to say. It kind of makes it sound like a little bit of a.
Just don't ask. I mean, if somebody wants to give you something or pay for something for you, that's cool and everything. But I'm talking about from the military guy's perspective and law enforcement, whoever gets those kind of discounts, is I would never ask. And that's only because, I mean, you can argue a few different points, but I don't want to get more into that. Just I don't. That's my opinion.
Drinking baby's blood, they're creating chaos so they have something to save you from. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation.
Said,
This is setting up a civil war.
They're creating chaos, so they have something to save you from.
Oh yeah, they're always creating a crisis.
That's basic.
They have to create a crisis. Because if you don't need the government, then where do they have their power? The government is a necessary evil to run your country. That's it. And somewhere along the way, that they've convinced people we need bigger, more powerful government that takes more money from us, and that baffles my mind. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. But whatever. I'll never vote that way. That way, there. If you want to take more of my money, you're not going to get it. Sorry. I give enough to various causes that I believe in, and I teach. My kids do too. He does charity live streams occasionally, and we do that kind of thing but that's our decision. That's what we want to do. It's not the government's job to take my money and give it to somebody else. I don't give it to him. That's just the way I feel about that.
Yep. So, very long video. Final World. What do you think? Final thought.
Final thoughts. It was good. It's a good song as far as just the song quality. Good, decent beat, decent chorus. Didn't hit as heavy for me. But I'll listen to it a few more times, see what else I get out of it. And I think that's kind of his. This guy's rapping on a different level. Like everything he says is deeper than what he says, and it may not be how it hits you the first time. Like in Fake Woke, when he's talking about the Black Lives Matter section, obviously there's gonna be a lot of people who disagree with that. But and I think the follow up line is they're screwing us all the same. All right, and of course. If you look at history of America, that's not true. Everybody knows that's not true. And I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's talking about on today's level, is right now, currently. Now, and there's always going to be pockets where this isn't true. Like, you can definitely make cases where that's not true. But just as us as a whole, as a civilization, as a country here, the government's really screwing us all about the same. There's going to be instances where that may or may not be the case, but those are individual bases. As a whole, I promise you, my next door neighbor and I, he's African American, we're both getting through the same. I can promise you. Whether it's taxes, whether it's lack of funding, whether it's lack of services from the city we live in, and the higher tax rates that we have to pay every year because they go up every year, we're being screwed the same by our government. He may experience something on a personal level that maybe I wouldn't experience, and so that's a different thing. That's not the government, though. The government is screwing us all the same.
So, we are gonna do. Let's see. We got canceled. See, there's some other songs he got. He's got Angels. Best one. Angels was a song that he released on Christmas.
I can't wait for No Lives Matter after that's going.
This one.
Yeah, that's going to be.
He released Angels for people on Christmas for people that didn't get a Christmas gift. So he's like, "This is my gift to you." So he made a song called Cancer, talking about how there's got to be a cure for cancer by now because it's been years in the making, or something like that.
There's no money in curing it. There's been a lot of people believe that. You can talk about conspiracy theory stuff. When you talk about pharmaceuticals, especially, there's probably a cure for a lot of things that we don't have because they can't keep making money on it if they cure it. Right now, it costs tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars to get treatment for cancer, and so that's money they get every time somebody has cancer. So why would they want to give you this magic pill or whatever the case may be that cures it?
Yeah, they just care about the money.
Yeah. So I'm not saying the doctor's doing that. We're talking about the people that invent the medicine that does it.
People so stupid
doctors,
as well.
I think, are doctors would be a lot more ethical, at least on a regular basis. They would cure it if they could cure it. I mean, they try
People
to
so
get
stupid
cancer
has
out.
more views than the last one.
I haven't seen people so stupid either. Are we gonna do that one?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that with the news reporter.
That's right. That's right.
And he's that one. This was the first song I heard by him,
That
and
looks pretty good too.
Sell Out. Sell Out.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I've heard this one. Maybe we could do
We can do that one together.
but I don't think this one's political. This one's just like
I don't care if it's political or not.
you just.
I just want to speak the truth. You know,
So-
it doesn't have to be political.
Dude, this right here, this one is the one I was telling you. With I just want here. You can just listen to like the very beginning of it. Okay. This was the one about that I was telling you about with the reactor. The reactor was like, he stole my song, and he was just making a joke out of it, honest, because they're
Well,
friends.
this guy is stealing thoughts out of my head.
Exactly.
I gotta-
Okay, hold on. We're here. We'll pull up the just for a minute. I'll just let you listen to it for a minute.
Hello, Thomas. I see that you're depressed. What's the problem? Is it the skeletons you're hiding deep inside your closet? Have you been reading all the names they call you in the comments? Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin?
I love this song. It's like a movie.
Yeah,
You're just like
so.
here. I'm just gonna.
They're good. These people are. This guy's talented, but not. And I know he's got people that help. I know Nova helps him, and I know that.
Now this is a fast song though. By the way,
we don't need to do it right now. We can do it.
I know.
But
I just
the
want
the quality of this content, the video, the way it's put together, they're good. They're real good.
See it. This is one of my favorite songs. We'll do that. We'll do best rapper ever as well. Angels is good. This one he talks about his drinking problem, how he used to be an alcoholic, and he tells you like why he was like, he says I'm not addicted to the it's like he said I'm addicted to the way I feel, not the alcohol, right? He was like, and then No Good Bastards. That one's pretty good. These ones right here, specifically Church is one that you would listen to. It's also kind of like Angels was talking about. That one's with Nova and his friend Brandon. That's the one that's on the album I have right there. Actually, all three of these are. And then, so he by the way, he is releasing a new song in a few weeks. He said on Instagram he's releasing. He spent a week in the recording studio just making music, and he's gonna release. He said once he released the first one, they're just gonna. And he sometimes he releases 3-4 songs a month.
It's crazy. He's working hard.
He's working hard. Yeah.
All right.
So, we'll probably do No Lives Matter next because that's the one that my dad really wants to listen to. We'll do People So Stupid, then Canceled. We could do Best Rapper Ever, and then if you want to do this one, you can do this one too. I'm Corny. This one's funny. He did a diss on himself. That No Response is pretty good. It's kind of like, I think it's a diss to people, but I don't know who. Blame the Rappers. This is the one with Dax. This one, you would like this one too. It's way more mellow. It's slower. But it's just talking about the rap industry, how it's so messed up now that people just all they talk about is drugs, guns, stuff like that, like, and how it affects the youth.
Right.
So that's
They
what
wanna
that
be
song
that.
is about.
Whether you grew up with that, because back when that kind of rap got started, those people grew up in that shit. Now I don't know if the rappers today grew up in that shit or not. I can't tell you, but I know they did back in the day. NWA, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, they grew up in that kind of stuff. They rapped about that stuff. That's where they came from. I don't know if that's the case today or not. I don't know any modern.
Dr. Dre has not released a song since 2015.
I don't know any modern day rappers. I don't keep up with that.
I can tell you right now, though, Eminem, he's been 11 years sober. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't do anything.
That's good for him. I lost my train of thought now. Thank you.
Sorry.
I had a point I was trying to make.
Dad, the point that you try to make, you take like 15 minutes each time.
They're not easy to make. They're complicated
No, I get it.
points.
I
You
get it.
can't just throw out an answer and that